Welcome to Conversations in Between the Realms, a podcast where the mystical meets the everyday. Join Amanda Nova and Beth Renov each week as we dive into the profound journey of awakening, sharing our experiences, insights, and the lessons that guide us toward our divine purpose. Together, we awaken and guide our souls and others, exploring the magic of living in the 3D while staying connected to the higher realms, embracing the challenges, and celebrating the growth. You've been guided here for a reason. Trust in the journey and let the unfolding begin.
Hey, welcome back to Conversations in Between the Realms. I'm Amanda Nova, and I'm here again with the lovely Beth Renov. And we are going to talk today about being here on this planet, because I think both of us in the last couple of days have both said, I hate it here a number of times.
Yeah.
And, I think it's just been really, really hard, and the energy has been pretty heavy with all the stuff that's been going on. And, we like to both be a source of light in the world. And I think a lot of people are turning to faith, they're turning to spirituality. And yeah, I don't know. That's what's coming through for me right now is like, being here, being a source of light, being a source of a place for people to go where there's something, a space to, yeah. So how are you feeling? What's going on with you?
I mean, what isn't going on?
What isn't going on? What isn't going on?
I think that's a better question. But, I've never been more grateful for being in a spiritual practice and a place where spirituality is so in my life, because it is such a perspective shifter. Like with everything going on, just like from like in my own like circle to like bigger, it could really break anybody. It is really what I feel. But I have these moments where I'm really present and I'm like, oh my God, I like I said last week, like just looking around and being like, I have everything that I need and I want, and that really is getting me through. And while everything's really intense and heavy, like I am able to separate that and be like, okay, but that's not everything, right?
Yeah.
And I think there are moments where I feel like, okay, like this is horrible, like I'm gonna get really angry or upset, and I just turn back to like, okay, like what can I do right now to ground myself? What can I do right now to feel connected to that like celestial realm, right? And I think had I not been where I'm at, I don't know that I'd be handling it as well. So while it's not great, I feel the best I can be for this situation and moment in time.
Yeah, and I think that a lot of people are turning to spirituality for that reason. And I think,
Right.
I think you said this a few weeks ago, but I'm really seeing it now, this influx of people starting to talk about more of the like quote unquote woo woo stuff, right? Like they're starting to talk about more of the channeling, more of the intuitive abilities, more of the psychic abilities, more of the mediumship. They're talking more about some of these, what we might call, let's say, alternative religions, right? Or practices or non-religion type of things. Whereas I feel like, 2 years ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, these were not things that people were talking about. But I think that people are turning to faith and spirituality because they're looking for something to hold on to right now, because the world just feels really scary. And no matter where you live, I mean, just turning on the news is really, really scary. And it does feel really heavy. And, we talked about this also a few weeks ago, but, finding the levity and finding, the laughter. And I was saying to you right before we hopped on, and I was like, let's get on and talk about it. But like, I've been trying to, bring some humor into my social media, because I was like a huge piece of me that I feel like is missing from my social media is my humor. Like I
Right.
feel like, and for a long time that
Mm-hmm.
I've never been able to show that side of me. Like
Mm-hmm.
for years, like I've always been like very serious. I feel like my social media is actually very serious.
I
And
don't know. I think there's a lightness to it, but I wouldn't say it's like comedy. But they're like, I feel like your humor, like, you make these cute videos. Like, I don't think it's like
right,
super serious. Like, but I don't think you see like your sarcasm and your wit
right,
come through. You know,
right. But like knowing me, I feel like it's not like me. Like I feel like I have such a like even
stage
like
presence.
yes, and like dark sense of humor. And like I'm realizing
Yeah.
it so much with Aria that like there is like I have like an entire like I do bits with her. Like I have an entire cast of characters that come out. Like I like and she like loves it. Like we have bits that we do. And I like said to my husband, like we were kind of like joking that I was like, you know, like I'm fun parent. Like you don't have any bits. And he was like, what do you mean bits? And I'm like, you know, like we have like different things that we do. Like we have like different games and different things and none of that comes through in my social media presence. And not that it has to, because you know, you don't have to show all of those things, but like I feel like that piece of me is not there. Like the
Yeah.
improv piece of me, like the piece of me that like really is like that humorous side. And so like right before we hopped on here, like I made Rob do like a skit with me because now that he's home, like
Yeah.
we're
You
actors.
have
Like I'm
to.
like, we are now,
Yeah.
this is what we're doing now. Like you work for me,
Yes.
we and it was just nice to do something that was like funny and made us laugh versus like I go on social media and like I'm just seeing all of this like hardcore like political stuff and like into and there's a place for that and everyone needs to have their voice like there's so much value in that like
Right.
so much truly but like my heart hurts right now and I just need to laugh
Yeah,
so
absolutely. And like that's so like what Lauren and I did during COVID because there was absolutely nothing to do. People were dying. Like there was
yeah
also kind of like this huge cloud and we would just die laughing like doing these weird like skits like
yeah
so I don't know if you have next door like the
yes of course
okay. So,
yes
like, people would complain about the most ridiculous things. So, we actually made characters and we blocked the face out and changed the voice and just made this series of like next door like
oh
characters.
my god I
And
love it
it was hilarious. And, you know, and I am like, I used to do stand up comedy, I used to do
yes
sketch, I used to do improv. And it's just like, where is that? Like,
yeah
I just almost feels like it doesn't neatly fit anywhere. And I don't know
yeah
how to do it because a lot of mine is on the spot, like doing like improv that, but like
right
a lot of it's in my writing, you know, and
yes yeah and here
like that's
we get to show it here a little bit
right,
you know
yeah, yeah. But I don't feel like, and I've toyed with like, do I go back to like doing that? You know, I see people
yeah
doing stand up. I'm like, do I want to do that again? You know, but to be honest, like if you really want to do that, it's intense. It actually like costs you money because you have to go to and time because you have to go to all these open mics and
oh
sit
my
through
god
really bad comedy.
I would never see like stand up I could never do like
Oh, it's
stand up has never
amazing.
been I would love it if you went back to stand up because I would be your number one like I
Oh,
love that so much but my secret dream and I think you know this because I probably told you over the years but like improv has been my
yeah.
dream forever. Like I have always been like I love improv so much and I've never done it. Not since I did like drama
Why?
club. I
Oh
don't
my
know
god,
because
you.
I'm so terrified to do it, but it's like my secret. That's my
Oh,
secret dream for
I
everyone. I want
used to
everyone to
do.
know my secret dream is
I
improv.
did. I did the sketch writing and improv classes at UCB, Upright
Mhm.
Citizens Brigade. Um, and I will tell you, when you are doing that, that is the closest you are to like the spiritual world because you are
Mhm.
so in something that like and being on stage and having that thrill is like I think that was like my those were my moments of like my highest self, you know, is
Mhm.
like you just felt incredible off of life. You know, you didn't need a
Yeah.
drug, you didn't need anything, and being in the moment and laughing, like, I feel like that is spirituality. That is like connecting with it.
It
And
is. Well, it's downloading, right? Like those are the
yeah.
downloads coming through. And yeah, and that is when I feel like in my highs, and it's play. And that's what I've been thinking of lately, right? Like we talked about last time about following what you love, like when you're feeling that
Mhm.
feeling of in love. And I think like the follow up to that I've been thinking about so much lately that this like plays into and I'm play is play.
Right. Yeah.
And I've been thinking about that so much. Like, and it's been a lot of like seeing my daughter, and like this improv thing plays into that as well, right? It's like, okay, having fun and
Mhm.
playing with things and like really coming alive. It's like, okay, what makes you feel like what do you love? What are you in love with? So, yes, there's like, okay, what brings you joy, but like, what do you have fun doing? What makes you feel alive? That is the spirituality, right? Like, that's the spark. That's like that aliveness. Because I think so much of us are going through our days, and I think especially like, oh my God, like working in corporate and like think back to like when
Mhm.
you worked in those like jobs that like even before you went into school for doing therapy, like, God, like
Ugh.
dead, feeling like your soul is dead, like that, like click, 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 like
Soul
zombie,
sucking.
soul
Yeah.
sucking.
I said that, like, and I worked with my best friends. Like
Hmm.
my boss was like, hire all your friends. I couldn't have asked for a better
Yeah,
like work situation, but it was just like the job itself was soul sucking. I'm like, I want to throw myself in front of a bus to avoid going to work,
yeah,
like, and not to be like suicidal. I just was like, I want any excuse not to be here.
yeah,
And when you are doing something that's so not soul aligned that you dread every day, it makes you feel like, what's the point of life? You
yeah,
know? And I'm not saying quit your job, but then find the things outside of it
yeah.
that help you if you need to keep your job. If there's nothing you're like, my mom, someone was like, I'm not passionate about anything. So, like, any job is kind of fine as long as I make
My
money.
mom says the same thing. It's very much that generation too.
Right.
Like I do want to say
Right.
that the like boomers, that generation was also very much taught like you
Right.
go, you make work, and like you make work. You go to work, you make
Yeah.
money. And but I say to those people like that is fine, right? And they raised
Right.
us, and that's why we have been breaking the hustle mentality and like chiseling that out of our brains for our entire life. Like I get all of
Yeah.
that. But then to your point, outside of work, right? Because there is a reality that comes into play, because like people will listen and they'll say, okay, that's great, but I have to pay my bills and I have children to support and blah,
Right.
blah, blah. Like, okay, fine. But to your point, then on the weekends, in those moments, like what are the things that you love? Find
Right.
play. Find play with your partner. Find play with your kids. Like if
With
you are
yourself.
with yourself, yeah, play with
Yeah.
yourself. Hashtag play with yourself.
I mean, even that.
In between the conversations, in between the realms, you heard it here first. Play with yourself. That's all. That's all, folks.
And I mean
Like,
it in every way possible.
every which way, play with
Yeah.
yourself.
But I will say, like, my
It's true.
dad, like, he was a commodities broker. He had like a
Mhm.
high stress job. Like, if anybody's seen the movie Trading Places, that was literally filmed on
Mhm.
my dad's floor. Like, he could have
Oh my God.
um actually been in it, but he was so stressed out. I just remember he was a different person, but he was a jazz producer on the side. Like,
Wow. Why is
he
your
really
family so interesting? I feel like you could like write stories about like your
I
family.
could. Like, we have such like strong personalities in my family. And I would say my middle brother and my mom are the most normal, but like my dad, my oldest brother and me are like floating off this planet. It's just like so
So
out there.
interesting.
You would
Yeah.
love my grandma. I wish she was still around, but she was such an intense person, but she was a riot. Like,
Ugh,
made all her own clothes from, like, my grandpa
so
died
cool.
so young.
Oh,
Well, for her, because he must have died when she was like 70, 75. She lived till almost
wow.
105. So she would like paint. She was like embodied this. Like
Yeah.
she would write plays. She loved playing piano. She painted like on canvas, but she also just like painted her entire apartment. She would like paint the
Oh my God,
ceiling.
that's so
She
fun.
painted a picture of my uncle, like changed his shirt color because she didn't like it in the photo. I mean, she was eccentric to a
Oh my
degree,
God, I
but
love it
she was
so
like
much.
dialed to the nines. Like she should have been like a designer. Like she took all my grandpa's clothing and repurposed it into hats, into
Oh, that's
outfits.
so cool.
She wore stilettos till she was like 100, which probably wasn't safe, but like
But with
she,
her, she lived
yeah,
it. She
she was in
lived
the
it.
Bronx. She was like probably the only like Jewish white woman there, like lived in a project. She walked, got her
Oh,
groceries, like she was friends with everybody. She was just like the cutest, but she literally was the happiest person because she just
mm-hmm.
played all the time. She
Yeah.
loved life. Like I really have not seen someone love life like the way
Yeah.
she did. And
Yeah.
she didn't have an easy life. Like,
You have
it's
to choose.
crazy.
It's a choice. It's a choice to do that. And I think the thing is that there's so much pressure to turn everything into something. And I am like the worst culprit of this. I will say that because you know me, I am literally like every single thing has to be turned into a business. Like if I like
Right.
learn a skill, it's like, okay, well, can I make money from this? And that is
Right.
a very big thing of like how I was raised. Cause like I literally like that's like my family, right? Like if I do anything, my dad's like, great, like can you make money doing that? Like how much money does like can you make doing this? And that's like how I was raised. But like that message to everyone is like play with things and like fall in love with things and have fun with doing things, and it doesn't have to be for anyone except yourself. So like you can
Right.
paint and draw and have fun doing stuff, and you don't have to be good at it. And I have not really learned that until having my daughter, where like we
Mm-hmm.
can draw with chalk and like all kinds of stuff, and like I have the best time. Like I love doodling, and like
Mm-hmm.
that is one thing that I cannot make any money off of. So I love doing it. And like my characters and like all that stuff, like there's no, me
Right.
just chasing her around and creating characters and all the stuff that I do, like, that's just for us, right? Like that's just for fun to
Right.
make my daughter laugh, right? So that's the kind of stuff, like just allow yourself to be free in all of that.
Right.
It doesn't have to be anything except for just something that you enjoy.
Right. Like I sing, like that's my favorite thing to do. I do not intend on doing it for anything except myself. And the funny thing is that when you're in play, like there are such amazing secondary benefits. Like your
Mhm.
nervous system is regulated. You know,
Yeah.
you're like creating probably dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, which is like helping you to feel good and
Yeah.
probably regulating your hormones. Like there
Yeah.
are just such good health benefits just from doing something that like makes you feel good and connected, and
Yeah.
aligned.
Yeah.
And
And
it's
ideas come through and
yes.
downloads and different things. And
And
it's all
just sorry to cut you off,
yeah.
but the doodling, I want to say that it might
Yeah.
actually make you money, which I shouldn't tell you. But you know that psychic who doodles to channel.
Oh, really?
Yes, like
Hmm.
that's their way of like channeling is it comes through when they're doodling. So
Oh, that's so
maybe they
interesting.
are more profitable than you think.
Hmm. I can write light line. I mean, I do automatic write, and like I will write things down when I am doing a Kundalini session with somebody. So like
Uh-huh.
it can come through that way. And I do think things come through. It's it's also about pampering yourself
Mhm.
and treating yourself a certain way that lets you step into this like identity, and it does allow for downloads and things to come through. Like I was trying to create content today, and I put on this dress that I have not worn I'm saving it for God knows what. Like, it's like see-through. I
Mm-hmm.
can like never wear it anywhere. It like doesn't really fit me. I'm saving it for like I don't know what. And I just did like a photo shoot with it. I was like, I had so much fun just by
Oh,
myself doing like a photo
good.
shoot.
But that's
And
like what you
yeah.
want to do, you know?
I just had the best time ever, just like being nice to myself. And I was like, I should wear this every day. Like I don't know what I was doing. I was just having fun, just having fun.
Yeah.
And
But
that's what we need to do.
absolutely. And they say actually like getting dressed up, which I probably need to do more of, does like make you feel better. Like
Hmm.
making your bed makes you feel better. It's accomplishing like goals, you know? And probably like your dress just sitting there is like what are you waiting for, right?
Hmm. Yeah, I have had a rule since the beginning of me working from home, even before COVID, even when I worked in marketing, when I started working from home, I started the rule that I would get up and get dressed.
Mm-hmm.
Always. Always, always, always. Like, I never, like, I get up and I get ready in the morning. And I don't, like, always put on like jeans or like wear a dress, but I get up and I put clothes on. Like, I do not wear my pajamas. I do not like wear like sweatpants. Like, I will be comfortable if I'm going to be sitting, but I always get up and get dressed. It's a mentality thing. Like, but it's like always
Mm-hmm.
been a part of my thing through COVID, through everything else, just because I feel like I have to get up and start my day. Working for myself, working from home, whatever it is, it just keeps me on like I am going to start my day
Right.
regardless. Because a lot of people struggle with like working from home or working for themselves. You can totally go off the deep end and stop taking care of yourself and go into like a hole. You know what I mean? Like
Oh
it's like a
yeah.
mental thing. So I do have
Oh,
a
I
thing with that.
yeah, I totally do that. Like
What,
I
go off the
do.
deep end?
Yeah. I just I'm just like I'm not getting changed. What do I have to get? I like put on a shirt, you know, and I'm not a makeup person. Like I'm never gonna like show up like fully made up every day. Like I've never been that way. I will do it if I'm like going out, and I did it in the beginning of this. Like I have like I go to the gym after we do
Hmm.
this. So I'm like, why am I gonna like put makeup on? And like I just don't like the feeling of makeup.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. So I just am naturally like not someone, and like I used to have a roommate like who when we would go to the dining hall in college would get herself made up, and I just like never understood it, but it really is something that like is like a perspective shifter. It just makes you feel good, you
It
know?
does. It does. I never used to wear makeup to work or anything when I was in my 20s. But now
Uh-huh.
I don't know, like I never used to like have to.
Right.
Bless my
Well,
soul.
I don't
Bless
think
my
you
soul.
have to, but it makes you feel good.
I don't do it every single day. Like my mom is like very religious about her makeup.
Oh,
Like
my
she
mom
does it.
too.
Like and
That's also a
again,
boomer thing.
that's a boomer thing.
Yeah.
I only do my makeup on days where I'm recording content. If I'm not recording
Hmm.
content, I won't do it. So I was filming today, so I put makeup on. If I'm not, I
Right.
won't do it. But if I'm going to be like on my camera now, I will. So it really
Right.
like depends because I tried very hard to like not do like I won't do a filter or anything. Like I try really hard to
Yeah.
just like be myself. But yeah, I think there is something to like, really taking care of yourself and like being like,
Hmm.
you know what? Like I want to have fun. I want to play. I want to feel good. And when you're in that state, that also is like I want to say too, like in regards to all the stuff we've been talking about, manifestation, download, spirituality, like play and fun and joy is the surrender. That's the
Yes.
surrender. That's the letting go. That's the release. And that is resetting your nervous system. That's the recalibration. It doesn't have to be like a $50 like breath work class. It doesn't have to
Right.
be like saying to the universe, like, I've had these moments, right, where like I've talked about like throwing my hands up and saying, like, I surrender. Like, it doesn't have to be like that. Like, it can literally be like, okay, I'm going to put my phone down. I'm going to stop checking my bank account or stop checking to see if
Right.
I got an order, right? Like stop to seeing if this manifestation is coming through for 5 minutes. And I'm going to just go play with my daughter, or I'm going to just go take a bath, or I'm going to go, like, I like to do my makeup because I listen to a podcast, and to me it's like fun to like get made
Mm-hmm.
done up, right? Like that is also surrendering and letting go for a second too.
Of course. And it was kind of like what we were talking about, like either last week or a few weeks ago, where when you stop focusing on it, it comes. You know, like when you stop
Mm-hmm.
forcing something and when you're in play, you're taking yourself out of trying to force things and you're really present in the moment. And if you think about it, like, look how big mindfulness got, right? And,
Mm-hmm.
like corporations are using it. They have like in schools, there's courses on mindfulness for the
Yeah.
teachers, you know, like, and really what is that about is like being present in the moment. And
Mm-hmm.
that's really what play is like enjoying the moment, being in it and not thinking about what's coming next or ruminating over something that happened, you know?
Yeah.
So, and I feel like that is like a really spiritual thing is, and that has been my message is like, be present, and
Yeah.
there's nothing more present than being in play.
Yeah. Yeah. Being in the moment, laughing, like, and not focusing on all of the things that are happening outside, which is all of the stuff that is scary and negative right now, and like, which is really
Right.
heavy. And like, again, like, I think it's why everyone is turning back in to faith and to light and to all of, the stuff that we are, trying to bring here. And I
Right.
think, I also had heard something today about, like we've talked about, like who you surround yourself with. But I think it's interesting to, think about, like, if you're being present, like really focusing on like picking and choosing to, like, those moments that you do have, the people you have those moments with, and the
Yeah.
things you do in those moments. Like, that is what you have control over. Like, you don't have control over what's happening in the outside world, but like those
Hmm.
moments of play, you have a choice, right? Like, you
Right.
have a choice what you are doing and the people you are with. And so, like, I think there is something about, like, yeah, just being really mindful over who you're spending that time with and like who you're filling that
Right.
space with.
And what environment are you in? You know, really trying to cultivate as like calming and nurturing and safe as space, not to be like a safe space person, but you really do want that so that
Safe
there
space.
isn't like, and I think that is exactly what a safe space is where can you just be yourself and that's safe, you know, not like, oh, like from judgment, but I think it's more judgment of yourself,
Yeah.
you know, it's like where can you like be weird and crazy and funny and not give a fuck, you
Yeah.
know, like to
Yeah.
be honest.
Yeah. And I just think, like, the less that, like, we care these days, like, just in general, like, I think we are really going into an era of like not giving a shit. Like, I just don't think it
Yeah.
fucking matters. Like, I really, really
Right.
don't think it matters. Like, I don't know, like, something hit me yesterday of just like, I don't know, like, I noticed something, and I just forgave myself for something that I had been holding on to for 2 fucking years. Like, I just realized, like, I had been beating myself up. I'll be fully transparent about it because, like, I have been beating myself up because I had started my business in working for myself in 2021, and after I had Aria, I pivoted my business. And so, like, it's been really hard since that to like really be doing well, even with all of the followers I have. And like, this, like, it's been really
Mm-hmm.
hard for me. And I thought that that was all because I decided to move from what I was doing into spirituality. And I've been like blaming myself for that. And then I saw
Mm-hmm.
somebody on TikTok talking about how they have all these followers on Instagram and how they have to go back to the job that they had to go back to work because they're not making enough money as a content creator because how much social media has shifted over the past two
Right.
years. And I saw all these people in the comments who have been going through the same exact thing that I've been going through the past couple of years. And I was
Mm-hmm.
like, holy shit, I have been judging myself
Mm-hmm.
for changing, for shifting, for feeling that shift and that trend shift. I
Mhm.
felt it and I was like, I want to move into something more stable, into something more real. 2
Right.
years ago, I was like, I feel like something is shifting.
Yeah.
And I did that, and I've been building from the bottom up now the past 2 years, and it's been challenging, but I've been judging myself this whole time, but all these other people have been going through something similar,
Mhm.
and I was like, "Holy shit. I've been beating the shit out of myself, and all these other people have been going through it, and it wasn't me, it
Right.
was the environment."
Mhm.
And I had to and I forgave myself. And so the point is that had I looked around, I would have noticed that like other people were going through this, but I had been too focused on judging myself and beating the crap out of myself. So had I been present in like, okay, this is not like you're okay, right? Like
Right.
what all you did was just realize that something was shifting,
Right.
and you're just building something right from the ground up. And this has been Beth and my husband have been telling me this for the past 2 years, that this is what's been going. You guys are like, you're just building something new. But I forgave myself.
Right. I mean, it's also a lot easier said than done. Like,
Right.
and the thing is, again, I feel like hindsight has been coming up. That's so
Mm-hmm.
much easier to say to yourself in
Yeah.
hindsight because you're seeing it really, you're seeing the bigger picture. You're not so zoomed in. And that's been coming up a lot too, is like we are so zoomed into this little shot and clip of the bigger picture. It's like a puzzle
Mm-hmm.
piece. So of course you're going to focus on that and think of that as reality, but you're really just not seeing, like, zooming out and seeing the fuller picture, and that is not your fault either.
Right.
So you don't want to also like go into a cycle where you're blaming yourself for not being present.
Right. Right.
You were just shown a really zoomed in clip, and you're zooming out, and maybe people didn't recognize that and realize, you know it took like a little bit of a journey to go on that, to be
Yeah.
like, oh, this was what it was.
Right.
Because maybe you were being present and you were because you were feeling it,
Right.
but this is different. And this has been coming up a lot this week in my sessions, is our brain wants to make meaning. So the easiest way to do that is to blame ourselves,
Right.
and the biggest discomfort is being in the unknown. And when you're
Mm-hmm.
building a business, the biggest, scariest thing is the unknown. You don't know how it's going to work out. You're not going to know how it's going to look. You don't know what a shifting social media landscape looks like. So, like, your brain was just like, hey, I need to calm down and make meaning. I'm going to blame yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Not thinking beating the hell out of yourself is way worse than sitting with the discomfort of not knowing what to expect.
Yeah. No, you're 100% right. And my message and my lesson in this too, to everyone, is like, you know, if you feel called to show your true self and you're wacky and you want to play, like play, have fun, and like that, like express yourself, because the days of the
Mm-hmm.
curated, perfect
Right.
influencer, like those days are done, everybody. Like show yourself, be true, be authentic, have fun. That is what is going to allow you to really magnetize your people, your experiences, your opportunities. Like that is what it's really is going to call in everything that you're trying to call in, and it's what's going to build that
Mm-hmm.
environment around you of
Right.
of the happiness, the play, the joy, because it's going to bring more of that in, so you can step into that. And that involves wearing the things that make you happy, hanging out with the people that make you happy, like, and really being that version of you that is true and authentic. And so that's my whole thing, is like, I was like, oh, maybe I fucked up, but fucked up what? Stepping into who I really am? Like, no.
Right.
It's just, like, I was like, oh shit, I have been myself, and then maybe everybody hates me now. Like, no.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean?
Again,
That's
right.
right.
Your brain assigning meaning. And the
Right.
easiest thing is to blame yourself. And what you said, to just to bring it back full circle, is, you said you were so serious. because you were in such a serious mindset of
Yeah.
blaming yourself.
Right.
And had you brought in play earlier, maybe it wouldn't have felt that way, you know?
Right.
And it's almost like an antidote, you know?
Right.
It's like play is your antidote to evening, having harmony, which I talked about a lot about in the beginning of this series. Is like, we need harmony and balance, you know? And like, play with yourself.
Hashtag play with yourself. Everyone, play with yourself. If you want to play with us, come be in our playful container. Come play with us.
Yes.
No, but really it's true. And, you know, again, like I feel like I say this in every single episode, but we've been through it. We get it. That's what we're here for, to support, you know, to give guidance on all of these things and to help lead you through it, to be a safe space, namaste, for you, but truly to give that to you. But, you know, if you want help from one or from both together, I think we're stronger together. But whatever you feel called to, reach out. And, you know, Beth said this last time, but send us a message, leave us, you know, a comment, let us know how you're playing with yourself this week.
I think we got our title. Well, thank you for listening, and we'll be back next week. Bye.